Hey everyone, if you're watching this episode of the podcast on YouTube, just want to remind you we live stream Monday nights exclusively for first members on our website at roosterteeth.com. If you'd like a 30-day free trial, check out the link in the description below.
Hooray!
Hello, welcome to this episode of the podcast this week brought to you by Loot Crate, Max Sales, and MeUndies. Thank you to our sponsors. Shout out to our new sponsor, Max Sales. I can't wait to talk about them a little later. Love that service. I'm Gus.
I'm Gavin.
I'm Barbara.
I am Bernie Burns.
And I'm Gus.
It's Boxing Day.
Today's Boxing Day. This is a pre-recorded podcast.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was asking the broadcast team, I was like, oh, are we doing a Christmas podcast? And they're like, well, yeah, it comes out the day after Christmas. And I was like, that's when everyone doesn't give a shit about Christmas anymore.
That they definitely don't.
Like,
Well, it's when
That's
people
like eating
talk
candy.
about...
No,
December
that's when you like
25th,
go and
lunchtime,
you
you're
return
done.
all the shitty gifts you got, and you get store credit, and then you buy what you really
You
want.
talk about your gifts, you sort of sleep off, you relax out the food coma and all
But
the booze.
does
and...
anybody want to see like trees anymore or eggnog?
Do you
Fluffy
take that down on
ornaments?
Christmas?
Do you like eggnog?
I like eggnog,
So
but only when
podcast
there's
is
bourbon in it.
divided down the middle.
So when do you have to take down Christmas lights? Is having Christmas lights up at New Year's still acceptable, or do people want that?
I think
Totally-
January
totally
1st,
acceptable.
they should be gone.
What
Like,
is what?
first week of January, get rid of them.
But after New Year's,
I like it whenever it's cold.
is a New Year's party? Is that a December event or is that a January event?
It's a December event.
It is, right? Because you're having the party on January, and then they say Happy New Year, and they're like,
The second,
Well, it's late.
the second it's January, they piece the fuck out of there. So it's a December event.
"There you go." The
Huh?
January is when you leave. It begins.
You usually start a New Year's party at what, 8 or 9 o'clock at
Right.
night.
Oh, okay, gotcha,
You make
gotcha. I see,
them
I see.
31st.
Okay, yeah.
If I'm going to a concert Thursday at 8 o'clock, it's not a Friday event because it ended at 1 o'clock.
Mhm,
There you go. I'm with Barbara.
Yeah.
Thank you for the clarification.
You're welcome.
Why-
I'm just
why are we,
very
like-
insightful today?
40 and 30 years old just figuring that out.
No
I
one-
think we probably already knew it. We just
Yeah.
had to like walk ourselves through the
30.
process.
You're still in
Gavin,
your
sometimes
20s.
we'll
Sure.
discuss ideas on the podcast and we'll just verbalize. Because
Actually, did you know the
That's like-
tradition of parties dates back to the year?
This is like, it became such a simplified conversation. It's like,
I'm in a
and
better
then,
mood. By the way, I'm in a better mood.
For the record, we're recording this like 12 hours after the last podcast.
That's my emotional. I'm like a hamster. It's
So-
like everything just turns over really fast.
I'm ready.
Bernie's,
Fresh.
yeah, Barbara is refreshed, and here you're the new blood. You're carrying this. Is that a Neko Atsume sweater?
It sure is.
Oh, really?
That's
Are there
fucking
buttholes?
awesome.
It's awesome, isn't it?
Are there buttholes on it?
Yeah, I see a
yes.
butthole right now. Yeah,
Butthole.
the little
They're little
X's.
dots.
There's,
they're not
there's
X's.
fucking tubs.
Tubs.
eating
No,
all
that
the
one's an
food.
X.
That's
Yeah.
really cool. Did you get it for Secret Santa or something?
No, I got this on Amazon.
Oh, wow.
Did Aaron buy it for you?
Not
no,
sponsoring.
You know Andrew Watts,
Yeah.
the guy who helps with our social media and our memes. He actually found this online and sent me a link because he knows how much I loved.
Oh, I
Neko
thought you were going to
Atsume.
say he bought it for you. I was
Did
like,
you know they're
that's
making a
really-
Neko Atsume movie?
Get the fuck out
That's
of here.
bullshit.
A live action.
Explain
Neko
to people
Atsume
who
movie.
haven't played Neko Atsume what the hell Neko Atsume is.
It's nothing. It's an app where there are cats in a yard, and
And-
you put food out, and then you leave,
And you put
come
toys.
back.
And the important part is you take pictures of them, which is why I asked if there's buttholes. Because when the cats face away from you, it shows their little
The little
butthole.
They're
butthole.
little cute.
I
egg
believe
buttholes.
I'm talking off the top of my head here, but I believe the Neko Atsume movie is about a writer who is depressed and who lives alone, and a cat comes and visits him in his yard,
And he only has one view of his yard forever and ever.
and he can expand it one time.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Only if he gets enough fish.
yeah. I cannot. We've gone too far. Has science gone too far? Yes. We do not need a Neko Atsume movie.
I was obsessed with that game to the point where anytime I was on my phone, Aaron knew I was playing Neko Atsume. So I would be on my phone. He's like, "How many cats you got?" And I'm like, "Shut up."
So I can't bring myself to
7.
delete it from my phone.
Me
I
neither.
can't remember I probably haven't launched it in a year. Let me see if my cats are all still there.
I'm going to see if I have Neko.
What if they were just a bunch of skeletons?
No, it would just be an empty yard.
You can
That
now
would
buy
be-
wallpapers. Okay, yeah, it's an empty yard.
Yeah, I'm surprised there
I
there
got
aren't
Neko
more.
Atsume.
I'm surprised there's not more Tamagotchi-esque apps like that.
This, I guess, is close.
It is
Yeah.
pretty close.
Although you don't really have to do anything besides
Will this get caught by Content ID?
only 10 seconds or more.
I know that music well.
That's Neko Atsume.
The what's
All right, Kelly.
today's? So this comes out on the 26th.
Boxing Day.
It's Boxing Day. So you were talking about an interesting idea right before we started the podcast.
I was?
Yeah.
I thought I was telling you to hurry up so we could start.
No. The interesting
Oh,
idea.
okay.
Which was
Gus
it'd
was
be-
late today.
it'd
Gus
be-
was 10 minutes late and then yelled at everyone when he got
and then we still had to wait another 5 minutes. So fuck you guys.
You were a fuss bucket for the guy who was
Um,
late.
God,
You had a
whatever.
bad Christmas.
You were late to our filming earlier.
You must have had a bad Christmas.
You were 15 minutes late to our
Oh,
filming earlier.
were you really?
No, it
Well,
wasn't.
you kind of crumbling my point.
What
If you were
what
late.
was the thing we did
The thing
earlier?
we filmed over there earlier.
Oh, okay.
You filmed something
Yeah.
over there without me?
Yeah.
I was in a meeting that went long because we were reviewing the final scripts for. I don't know if the show's been announced.
Okay. So your interesting idea.
I
was
gotta watch my mouth. With
it
this
would
stuff.
be cool to see if Amazon told you how many square feet
Oh,
of
yeah.
cardboard you used in 1 year.
It would be insane. It's one of those stats that I would hate to know. It's like so much.
You couldn't
waste.
publish it though.
What?
You couldn't publish it.
How much cardboard you use?
Yeah, because
Why?
that would indicate you've bought a lot of packages.
Well, or
And-
you bought big stuff.
True.
I mean,
either
him
way,
saying this now indicates he's bought a lot of packages.
it does. It does. You're walking a fine line here, Buster.
But are we talking like 1,000 square feet, or are we talking like 10,000 square
Yeah,
feet?
I mean, a lot of the stuff. Whenever I know Dan's coming to town, I'll just batch order a load of stuff on Amazon. I've got cardboard that lasts weeks because I fit so much in the recycling bin, and then every 2 weeks they take some, and then I put more in, and it's like a 2-month process to get rid of all the cardboard.
If you had a vehicle, then you could just do what I do, which is stack it in the back of the vehicle and take it to work and put it in the.
I feel like that's
The
shitty
dumpster here.
because if everyone did that, our dumpster would be.
if you break it down, it's
overflowing.
fine.
If you break it down, it's
If
fine.
everyone who worked here did that, it would be insanity.
well, it
I don't
would have
think
for a
s-
while, not anymore.
Well,
I don't
also-
think everyone is like you and me, where you get 100% of everything you buy, you get from Amazon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
I mean, I get-
definitely do that.
I get a decent amount of packages, but
yeah, I bet you do.
I also have one in
Sweet
particular
package.
is really great. My apartment has like those giant big recycling.
Right.
What are they called?
Dumpsters?
Dumpsters?
Yeah. What do they call them in Canada?
Trashaloos.
Trashaloos.
London.
That's correct.
It's a trashatoon.
They call them beaver buckets.
Yeah, like it's really bad. It's to the point where I'll make multiple Amazon orders in 1 day. It's like, oh, I need this thing, order it. And like 30 minutes later, like, oh, right, I need that, order it.
Yeah.
30
it's
minutes
just
later, oh, I need that,
creating
order
so
it.
much waste of cardboard.
Something
I would
happened-
hope that sometimes they figure it out and they group them together.
So that happened to me recently. I've never had that happen to me before with Amazon, and maybe it's because I've never ordered anything on the same day. But I ordered an eyeliner, which comes like, in a package this big.
Yeah.
And then I ordered some C batteries because I didn't know I needed those for anything. I ordered them maybe like 8 or 9 hours apart. They both came in the same box the next day.
They batch them up.
I've never seen that before.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've
Well,
had that.
Yeah.
I think if it's all from like the same seller, like as long as it's not like someone else fulfilling it, I think they'll typically do that.
Yeah.
Or as long as you also catch them in time.
It's true.
We
I
love
don't,
it.
I don't know if we ever talked about this. I had the dumbest experience in India when I was with Gavin, and when you said they all come from the same seller, it reminded me of it.
Yeah, we talked about it.
Did we talk about
We
the
talked
ice,
about it on the stream.
the ice cream seller? Anyway, our guide through India, he was talking about. He took us to this street vendor where we ate this horrible, like, what was it called? Not naan.
It wasn't
That's
naan. It was
bread.
like the
Was it like
contents
some
of an
seaweed?
ashtray
Pan.
and incense.
It's called pan. It's like folded everything. I know because we haven't gotten responses, so we ate that. But then he said, "Oh, around the corner, there's this great ice cream cellar that we can go to." And when he said ice cream cellar, I heard cellar like with a C. So I thought it was an underground ice cream place, and I got super excited. Gavin goes, "Why are you so excited?"
Yeah, it's like, oh my god, I want to go there. It's like, you want to go to an ice cream?
It's like you're being facetious and mocking him.
right.
I imagine that would be the coldest place in India.
It just sounded awesome. I was imagining like a one of those places for people who love wine.
Yeah.
The equivalent of that for me is ice cream.
And it was, one
So-
of it was one of those things where at first I thought you were kidding because it's like, oh, haha, like it was a pun, and then you're like, oh,
right.
and you're
Well,
like
then-
kind of bummed out that it wasn't real.
Yeah, it was a mixture of embarrassment, but then I was disappointed that this thing that I had misunderstood in my head didn't exist.
And then you still got to go to the ice cream cellar.
No, we never got ice cream, fuckers.
Well, now you never know if it was really a cellar or not.
no,
could've been.
He was.
That's true,
Sarab
we
was like,
never
you're a
found
fucking idiot.
Is that eggnog up there still from?
That's,
No.
that's from today.
Look,
Okay.
he's drinking eggnog.
Okay.
Me.
She made herself an eggnog.
Did you put any bourbon in there?
Burning
This
bourbon?
is half bourbon.
Okay.
Yeah.
We were on the last podcast. We were trying to figure out what the correct amount of bourbon to put in eggnog is.
I would say a third.
Third bourbon.
Look at you.
Yeah.
Good call.
Third,
Good call.
Third bourbon.
You're
2/3
loading it up.
Noggy nog.
How much cardboard do you think you've used in square feet?
I'm terrible at that. I don't know. This much?
I think I could cover the circle bit of the Death Star. I'm not sure how big the Death Star is. How big is that?
The Death Star's massive. I actually just deleted a link I had that compared the Death Star to like other real world objects, trying
Ah.
to give you a sense of scale.
I mean, it's no Star. What's the
What was the top thing it was
Yeah,
compared
how
to?
big is
I
it?
think it was itself. It was huge.
Compared to itself?
I'm really big compared to
How
myself.
big was it compared
Well,
to
I mean,
itself, Gus?
The TIE fighters in Crab can fly through the trenches and Krebs in it. Right?
Also not real world items, but go ahead.
Right, but you see the guy sat in it, so you know it's a human
Yeah.
size.
How, compared
You
to like
can't,
a
like,
planet.
Compare the size of a made up thing to another made up thing.
You can. If there's a person in
It's
it,
like
yes, you
20
can.
million rankers. That's how big it is.
Is it? It's bigger than the moon, I assume.
It is
No,
No.
no.
I would say it's. I don't know why I got so aggressive on me. No.
No.
I would say it's significantly smaller than the moon. I'm going to say, depending on how you're going to measure this by volume or whatever, I'm going to say it's about an eighth the size of the moon.
I thought it was bigger than the moon for some reason.
Merp.
The moon is the size of
The moon?
Australia if the moon was sat on the Earth, right?
Is that true?
If you put the moon on the Earth, I think it has like a similar
The circumference
footprint
Yeah.
as Australia.
The Death Star diameter, original Death Star, 75 miles.
That's tiny.
That's nothing.
That's pretty small.
I could walk it.
You could.
You could walk that. They could have a
The
race.
Death Star 2's diameter was 99 miles.
What's the Death
Bigger?
Star 2?
The one in Return of the Jedi.
Well, try to work
Oh.
it out in your head. What was the Death Star 2? Try
I
to,
thought you tried.
try to work through the logic.
It
of
was the
name.
Death Star also.
So wait, how many movies are about a big?
Most
sphere?
of them
All
have
of
a
them.
Death Star.
All of them. Yeah.
Most of them have a Death Star. The only one that doesn't, I think, is
blow
Empire.
They blow up one in 4,
Yes.
the original one,
Yes.
and then there's another one that's just slightly bigger,
Yes.
and then there's Starkiller
Base,
which
yep.
is a planet.
Yeah. Everything after basically the prequels, which Rogue One is all about, as people know. The plot of it is getting the plans to the Death Star, which is how A New Hope begins. They put him in R2-D2, and the whole premise of Star Wars begins with trying to get these plans for the Death Star in the hand of the Rebel Alliance. I'm confused because I thought I didn't pay attention to the prequels. I really watched Phantom Menace. I can't tell you what happened in episode 2 and episode 3. To me, they're just like one giant movie with stuff that's interchangeable.
It's green screen.
Right, there you
blue
go.
screen.
Green screen stuff.
Starkiller Base. 390
Somebody
mile diameter.
has the plans, though, in
390.
episode 3. They have the plans for the Death Star. Or am I thinking about in episode 2? Somebody pulls out a disc and shows, whoop, the little Death Star
I
pop
think
up.
that's in episode 3.
Yeah.
It was Jar Jar Binks.
What was
Is that when it was just an idea?
that?
Was that a prototype?
Maybe.
Or is it like that's somebody's PowerPoint presentation?
Yeah. It's like,
Check this out. Here's what we're gonna do.
Just blow that up
Yeah.
times 100. And
that was
then we've got
that was the concept art.
Concept art.
Like it's
Somebody
gonna
had-
look like this, but
so
much bigger.
The Death Star.
I love that they went from a hologram in somebody's hand to a tape, like a big. They got this massive old hard drive tape thing.
Yeah. So 75-mile diameter. You could
Oh, here it is.
you could park that on Earth.
Yeah, that. I thought that was them setting up the Death Star plans. Like that was going to be the item that then was in Rogue One.
Why do they
That,
need?
spoiler
that
alert,
looks
it's not.
like who has that there? That looks like that's the
Count
second.
Dooku, right?
Yeah.
But it's episode 2 then. Yeah, so he has an episode 2.
Do they realize they only need the trumpet part? They don't need all the sphere around it.
Well, that's
surely.
where they put all the ships in there for like defense. And
Nah,
stuff.
it's terror. It's all like a thing. Like it's got to be the presentation of it. I mean, they could just build a big gun in space
Yeah.
and then they float around on that, but no.
For some reason, I thought it was so much bigger. In my mind, it was like the size of a
I
planet.
thought Starkiller Base was huge. I thought that was like a terraformed planet or something.
Well, yeah, 390 miles is what I saw. Diameter for Starkiller Base.
390 miles.
Yeah.
What was that? Was that a moon of something?
Starkiller Base.
390 mile diameter.
Yes.
What's the diameter of the Earth?
I will look it up.
Circumference is what?
Circumference
20?
is like almost 25,000.
25,000
It's
miles
gonna be
around.
Sally
Eight.
right now.
Diameter
Go
of
ahead.
Earth is almost 8,000 miles.
Yeah, so that's huge.
You could
It's
walk
massive.
that.
Eventually. Yeah, you could. Eventually.
Is this it?
Oh wow.
Starkiller Base
Death Star.
and the Death Star. Oh, that was cool.
Over there, yeah.
That's it.
That's awesome.
Gets compared to the moon.
Get up again.
Gets compared to the
I want
moon.
to suck that in.
So you look at the Death Star's little smidge there. It's a
And
little,
the
what's
Earth
up?
compared to the.
Then the Death Star seems like it would be way tinier
How
than
can the
Australia.
Death Star, if it's that small, blow up a planet?
That's a really good question.
Well, I mean,
Really
it's just light,
powerful
isn't it? It's just
laser?
like a green beam. If you can make the green beam, it doesn't
Okay.
matter how big the gun was that fired it.
It's green.
I like cheese on my green beans.
It is true. The size of the beam was going to be like this massive. The size of the dish doesn't seem to make the beam bigger. It just has
It's like
more beams
smaller
going
beams
into it.
coming in to make one bigger beam.
It's still just one beam.
Put them all together, you get green bean casserole.
Get out,
Barbara,
Stop.
please.
Canadian bastard.
Stop it. The other thing that's weird, we were talking about this at lunch today. The other thing that's weird about the first movie is the time frame of the movie. Like the relationship between Luke Skywalker and Ben Kenobi is this mentor-apprentice relationship and this like deep relationship. And when, spoiler alert, Ben Kenobi dies in a
40-year-old movie.
A 40-year-old movie. When that happens, it's a huge event, and like Luke, it affects the rest of Luke's life. They knew each other about 12 hours. Like they met on Tatooine. Luke Skywalker woke up in Ben Kenobi's place. He had heard of him before, called him a crazy old hermit. Then they travel together and go to Mos Eisley. They get on a ship, they leave. That's most of their time together is traveling on the ship, which we don't see.
Well, that could have been a month.
I don't know how long that is, but I get the feeling it's very quick.
Seems quick.
Yeah. It's maybe a few hours, right?
I would
to
assume
Alderaan.
so, yeah.
They come in Alderaan, they get captured by the Death Star, and then they split up. So Luke and Ben probably had about 4 or 5 conversations together. Total.
He put the blast shield down, though.
That was the big moment that they had. It's like one of these iconic relationships in cinema that in real life is just like a couple dudes who just met one day. They bumped into each other, basically.
How long did Yoda
I've
know?
probably sat longer next to someone on a plane
You probably have, yeah.
than Luke spent with
You definitely have.
Obi-Wan Kenobi.
And you even put the blast shield down.
Yeah, I was like, the blast shield is my headphones.
That's actually what I like about like The Fifth Element. Gary Oldman's the bad guy. Bruce Willis is the protagonist. They never meet. They don't have a single scene together.
Really?
Yeah, there's one bit where Bruce Willis leaves and Gary Oldman walks out and does something else, but they just cross paths barely, and that's the only time. That's the only time they interact.
I also like the concept of when he's fighting the drone in A New Hope, and they say here, and they lower that thing, and he goes, "Well, I can't say anything with the blast shield down." Nobody ever uses the blast shield ever again. Like they've never, when they're firing weapons or when the Death Star goes off, nobody goes, "Up, let's lower our blast shields." You never see that function of a helmet ever
Is
again.
it just like a welding mask? Like it makes bright stuff seeable?
Maybe it's like an emergency thing. Like if there's a sensor on the helmet that detects there's a blast, like it shoots down like an airbag.
God, that thing
When
would-
we've
would
seen
break my
X-Wings
nose.
explode from inside the cockpit and nobody's blast shield comes down.
They're all defective. They had a recall from the
Of
plant.
course, because your ship's blowing up. You're like, I gotta push this button. Foomp. Oh shit! Can't see anything.
Is there movies that you guys watch like every single Christmas?
Die Hard.
Die Hard.
Probably National Lampoon Christmas Vacation.
We watched Die Hard the other day, and Bethany was with us, and she had never seen the movie before.
I'm shocked.
And I don't mind when people do this for movies I've seen like many, many times.
I'm gonna make an eggnog.
But she was asking questions throughout the entire movie.
Why?
I mean,
What kind of questions you ask for Die Hard?
the plot is terrorists
that?
take the building.
Yeah, she's
What are they
like,
doing?
She's like, why are they doing that? Why do they want to go in
I
that building?
hate when people ask questions. Watch the fucking movie. It's explaining it.
Aaron was getting so annoyed. He's just like, you'll find out. You'll find out.
God, how annoying. I'm getting mad just thinking about
I
it.
didn't mind it as much. It
What
was
about the
endearing.
bit where Alan Rickman was pretending to be one of the victims of the terrorist
Oh, that was
attack?
great.
Was she really confused?
No, she was just like, that's so smart. I would do that if I were him. And I was like, I guarantee you there's never going to be a time in your life where you have to do this.
Or you don't get discovered
where
while
you're
robbing,
a terrorist.
You're
and
robbing a vault of some building at the Nakatomi Plaza.
Or if she was pretending to be an attendee of RTX, that would be similar.
Oh, I don't think she'd get away with it.
Why?
People recognize her now.
She's famous.
Yeah. Can't get away with it. Do you get just eggnog?
No, it's got mush. It's got a
Mush mush.
It's got a bourbon.
bourbon on
Bourbon
top. I
topper.
should stir it, but
Use
would
the-
you do that? What?
Yeah.
What do I use?
Use the bottle opener.
Fuck off.
Here, do you want my straw?
I'll
Let,
take a
let-
straw.
let me read this right here.
That looks repulsive when you can see 2 layers of
Yeah.
different liquids in the same.
So, what are the
One-
traditions that you have in?
Want to remind everyone, this episode of the podcast is brought to you by Loot Crate. On a quest for epic gear. You like segues? That's a killer segue.
I was working on an epic segue. I'm
On-
going to hand off to you.
On a quest for epic gear, housewares,
up.
and collectibles, Loot Crate brings you between 4 to 6 of the coolest curated mystery items every month straight to your doorstep. It's the best surprise that you know is coming. Their next crate's theme is Origins. They've got awesome and exclusive items from your old school favorites. This January, see where it all started. Explore iconic Origins with historic items featuring Superman, Captain America, Mario, and the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, including, as always, the monthly t-shirt and pin. You have until the 19th at 9 p.m. Pacific to subscribe and receive this month's crate. And when the cutoff happens, that's it. It's over. Make sure to head to lootcrate.com/rooster, enter code rooster, save $3 off any new subscription today. That's lootcrate.com/rooster, enter code rooster. Thank you to Loot Crate for sponsoring this episode, this Boxing Day episode of the podcast.
Boxing, like a loot crate, comes in a box.
It's true.
Crating
Perfect
day.
sponsor. Did they do that on purpose?
Probably.
So, people hearing about Loot Crate, one of the fun things about Loot Crate is you get a little thing, you get to open, you don't know what's in it, you get this little gift every month, kind of like a gift that you give to yourself.
You mean gift?
A gift that you give to yourself. Yesterday, as of the recording of this podcast, pushing ourselves forward in time, yesterday people opened gifts for Christmas. That's a tradition that we do in Christian households.
Unless you're in Australia.
What do you, no, why?
What?
Well, that would have been the day before, wouldn't it?
Oh, okay. I thought you meant they opened their presents on a different day.
Date-wise.
Yeah.
Oh.
So, what do you think is an appropriate amount of gifts to get, like for different ages?
To get?
Yeah, like you're an adult, Gus, theoretically. How many gifts should you get from your spouse?
Imagine
I should probably get about 30.
Imagine it goes down when you get older.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it does.
it's 0. I shouldn't get any gifts.
You should get a gift. You
No,
should
I
be able to open something. You're not
No,
going to
I-
open anything on Christmas?
No gifts.
Well, this is going to be coming
Are you
out-
getting Esther a gift?
No.
Gus,
Come on now.
what's happening?
I can't wait to get lectured about my own marriage by people who don't know anything about it.
Come on, though. It's just being a festive social person.
Yeah,
If they've agreed,
Oh,
no
what?
gifts, then no gifts. This is coming out after Christmas, so could you guys tell the audience what you guys got your significant others, or are you just too worried about them hearing? Right
No,
now?
I'll tell.
What'd you get, Ashley?
Is Ashley around?
Is she here? No?
So I did 2 things. One is still in progress. So if I didn't do it, we got to cut this. I got her. She as you know from many podcasts, we talked how much she reads. She just has a super old Kindle, so I got her like a new Kindle that has the 3G on it and everything else.
Ooh.
So she got her new Kindle. I got her something else that's slipping my mind now. And then I got her. This is
Bobby.
really specific. There's been many times where we've been at home and someone calls us and goes, "Hey, do you guys want to go out to dinner?" And I'm like, "Sure, we'll go out to dinner." Ashley, want to go to dinner? She's like, "Yes." And then I hang up and I'm like, "Why'd you say yes? You sound like you're depressed." She goes, "No, I'm saying yes because I have to run to the office to grab my makeup." And then same thing when we're at the office and someone asks her to do something, there'll be times where she says, "I got to go home to get my makeup at home so we can leave from the office." So what I'm doing is I'm duplicating. I took all of her makeup and I'm duplicating it so she has a set in both places.
So
Turns out makeup is fucking expensive.
it's very
Yeah.
expensive.
I didn't
Good-
know what I
good
was getting
makeup.
into when I started this process.
Yeah, like a good foundation could cost you like $60.
Good God.
Yeah.
It's just an expense I don't have.
That's why I shop at the drugstore for my makeup.
Mm-hmm.
Good old CoverGirl, L'Oreal.
So I have to give a shout out to Anna, who works with us. Anna Fugates Downs. She works, does the makeup for us at the 11 Little Roosters and on the podcast. She's helping me figure out where this shit came from. I mean, these nice gifts come
These
from.
nice.
Are
wonderful
you
gifts.
also giving her a coupon book for free back rubs?
No, is that what you're gonna do?
Is that what you're getting, Esther?
For sexy time, 1 hour of sexy time.
Yeah. Access to my penis. You're
So
welcome.
do you give her gifts like throughout the year?
No.
Not even like
So
flowers.
not ever do you see
She
something.
hates flowers.
What if you saw something and you were like, she would love that?
I'll send her a link to it. If she wants to get it, she can get
Wow.
it.
Here, buy this for yourself.
Interesting.
You can get whatever she wants. She's an adult.
So what's
Do you guys have a shared bank account?
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. So it's like
because they're
Yes.
married. People who are married and don't
I
have
don't
a shared
know
bank
if
account.
I'd ever want to have a shared bank account.
That's strange
think
to
that's-
me.
Is that Jewish thing?
Well, unless
Go ahead.
I
Go
dated
ahead.
or I married like a really rich guy, then yeah, sure, hook me up.
So you're worried about a dude spending your money?
Well, it's just like it's my money that I made
but you're married.
with my own 2 hands.
Half of it is theirs, and half of theirs is yours.
It's an
Nah.
illusion if you don't. Yeah, it's
Nah.
an
yeah. It's
illusion.
it's all in
You're
one pot.
You're only
Yep.
fooling yourself. You go to court and you'll be like, "Well, we had separate accounts." You're like, yeah, "Okay, great.
Split it.
I bet you had separate clothes too.
Yeah.
It's good for you." You know, that doesn't matter for anything.
I think you just don't want to share a lot of your life. You want
I'm
it to be
good
yours.
with sharing.
Look who's talking.
certain
Is
parts of my
Gavin
life.
lecturing somebody about this?
Well, I'm not married. I mean, I'm
Would you
sharing
combine?
account.
You're going to put on the record right now that you were going to combine your accounts when you're married?
Well, once
if-
you're married, it's like that's it, right?
That's it.
Not necessarily
Game
though.
over. It's all,
I think
it's all
I'm
half
just-
theirs anyway.
I'm just too cynical for it, I guess.
Mm.
Of
We
like,
s-
I
yeah.
understand the fact that marriages, most of the time, some of the time, whatever, don't work, and I feel like having a joint
know what?
bank account could be a bit of a nightmare.
I can tell you, though. All relationships, all marriages, they go through problems. You might be surprised that, like, if you keep everything separate, when those moments come, you're like, well, we could just kind of like, we got to exit strategy here.
Mhm.
I know people that have done that. They're way more likely, I feel like, to get divorced
Rather
when they
than
come
go
to.
through
Because
everything.
it's always
When they-
like the mental prep that.
Well, it's like, yeah, we're not really tied together. So it's we have separate accounts.
But
we
isn't that a
never-
good thing?
What's that?
Isn't that a good thing?
Yeah, I think so. If they don't want to be together, they shouldn't be together. But
Yeah.
at the same time, then it's like maybe you don't want to get married. Maybe that's your thing.
Maybe I don't.
Yeah.
I was saying that like you want to keep your life yours because you like living alone too.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say something about me being Jewish.
Obviously, kids are the big changer in that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's
Yeah,
We-
I value my alone time and my aloneness. Independence.
So I don't want to let Gavin off the hook here. He hasn't talked about what he's getting for Christmas.
Oh yeah. What are you getting? What are you
Are you
getting?
gonna reveal it?
Meggers.
this will be out afterwards.
There's some perfume, bits and bobs here and there,
Mhm.
little bits and
I love bits and bobs.
stuff. Just
Bits
like
and bobs.
cute stuff.
I'm
you.
still shopping for a few things, but one of the things I got for Aaron is he does this thing where he calls himself Dr. Reverend Marquis.
Yes.
And I know
He's ordained, right?
He claims he's ordained, and he calls himself doctor for like some dumb reason. I don't get it. I think it's a joke. So I actually bought him a piece of land on Scotland. So he's a lord now. So he's officially a lord.
Lord Dr. Reverend.
So he's gonna be Lord Dr. Reverend Marquis.
How
I
big
log
is
it.
this piece of Scotland?
It's awesome.
It's like a
Flogging over
square
the
foot.
internet.
It's a square foot.
I fully expected Barbara to say something like, "I got him a pair of underwear that has an elephant face print on the front, and it's got the trunk where he can put his dick in it." I don't know why. That seems like a very Barbara gift to get.
Oh,
to
I just
somebody.
got him crotchless underwear.
Crotchless.
Yeah.
Good.
That's me
Lord.
with the scissors with regular underwear.
I saw this morning on a website. I saw this was for sale. It was leggings for women, but the leggings look like Michelangelo's David from the waist down.
Oh, with the little penis?
So this is like a penis, like right in the front.
So I
I'll see if I
would
can
never
find-
wear those.
I'll see if I can find it again.
Who would,
So do you find a penis poking through underwear to be attractive?
only if it's hard.
I feel like whenever
Ooh, that's
genitals
hard
are,
underwear. Gross.
but whenever genitals are peeking through underwear, it's always
That's
kind of
weird.
messy. That's funny. I think
That's so
cool.
Funny. It's funny
gross.
and odd.
Please
I'm
don't
very
buy
conflicted.
those for
I
anybody.
like. I have a conflicted reaction to that photo.
You were saying?
Oh, I think what was I saying?
About penises poking out of underwear.
Oh yeah, like if genitals are poking through clothes, it's kind of weird looking.
Well,
Guys,
what would it look like if there was just like a clit poking through? Like not the vagina, but just the clit.
It's like a theater show. They're like peeking through the curtains.
Yeah.
Because I feel like the fabric, if it was tight, would kind of tug the skin in, and then the
it would look like you were eating jelly beans and you just dropped one. That's what that would look like. That's exactly what that would look
Or
like.
just the flaps or something just hanging
yeah,
through.
like a labial spill.
I have to admit, you have significant others that walk around the house all the time. If I like
House.
actually does something and actually like shows a bit of boob or something, while we're just like lifting up the Christmas tree or whatever, I'm like, yeah, I can see her naked anytime I want to. But if I catch like a peek, it's still I like that. I don't know what it is. It's like when you have a song on your iPhone, but you hear it on the radio. You're
Yeah.
like, oh yeah, it's awesome. It's just I don't know what it is with that. Am I the only one
or
who
if
thinks like
there's a
that?
It's
movie
like
on Netflix and then you see it on cable and you're like, oh, watch this movie.
It's like unexpected or out of context. No, I can see that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, do you not think watching someone get undressed is sexier than having them just be naked already?
Watching someone get undressed.
Like if it's like sexy
It's like
times
a
about
build-up.
tampering?
Well, I can tell you this. Before this, we were talking about. Barbara said, "What should I get for Aaron if I get additional gifts?" We had this conversation earlier, and I just said, "Just get lingerie." Really, honestly, she's like, "Well, that's something for myself." I'm like, "Yeah, but still, I mean,
It's not
honestly,
for myself. I also have so much of it already that it's like,
that's the excuse. Believe me, get more. I mean, that's the really. But honestly, I said that to you. I actually, I prefer nudity to lingerie. Like, I would just prefer Ashley's naked.
I'll get that for Aaron.
This might be a very specific conversation.
I'll get a naked Ashley.
That's a good way to do it.
That's for myself though.
Yeah, like lingerie to me is just like it's extra business. That's just like
Depends how it's
No,
done.
That you use for a minute or two.
I
and
just don't
then
need all
yeah,
that.
It's
Just don't
gone.
need all
Sometimes
that.
there are strategic holes placed in certain lingerie where it's like you're pretty much naked.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that's cool.
Some stuff you get on Amazon, pretty cheap.
Comes in a
It's
box.
a David Pumpkins suit.
It's just the boobs are missing.
It's very breezy.
It's like the worst bra ever.
Yeah, so much support.
That's yeah. No, it does seem like a waste. It's just a fleeting thing.
I just feel like that's like a cop out for a gift.
He will not dislike it.
Not that I won't dislike it, but it's like if you're spending money on someone and then they're buying you a gift in return, but the gift is just them essentially buying themselves something.
I wouldn't say buy that exclusively.
Well,
You
no,
know, maybe
obviously.
if you wanted an add-on gift, which is what we were talking about, because you already got him the elephant underwear.
Does he need any snakeskin boots?
He's got those.
We actually went to
Does he need
Alan's boots
terrible
recently.
shirts.
I'm looking. I can't find anything nearly as terrible as he would want because I just refuse to buy it. But boots are expensive.
Yeah,
real
boots are expensive.
And I
dude.
also like those are so specific. Like there's so many different designs and styles that I feel like you have to pick those out yourself because it's so specific to your personality and your style that like you could really fuck that up and spend like $800.
Would you ever wrap yourself up naked in a box and let him unwrap you?
No, because then he's just gonna unwrap like a really annoyed, sweaty girl.
What if he just unwrapped
You
your
make a
lower
good
half?
call.
Like, hurry up! It's like
You know, I used to wear boots all the time when I was a little kid.
cowboy boots.
Yeah, I don't.
Did you wear red cowboy boots?
No,
Did you have the little spurs?
I never had spurs on them. But it's weird to me. I don't think I've probably worn cowboy boots in 25, 30 years now at this point.
What are those for?
What?
Cowboy boots?
The spurs
Oh.
on a boot.
To like kick a horse.
Yeah, you
Get it
kick
to
the
go.
horse. Make the horse
Is that what they're
scared and
for?
mad.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's rough. I thought it was fun.
You ever spending time around horses?
Yep.
No.
Nah.
They're dumb.
I don't
We've
like the
discussed
smell.
it
It's been a
lot.
while since you've gotten mad about a horse.
Yeah. So we saw a funny horse video where it was a woman with a horse mask on. And she goes up to the horse, and the horse is super curious. Then she takes off the mask, and the horse freaks out and goes running away, like kicking and everything like that. Like can't handle it.
Well, the horse just saw a horse get decapitated.
Yeah.
Basically, yeah.
Skinned.
The human was wearing the horse's skin as a mask.
Anytime you talk about horses, I think about your story about the horses sucking on the cars.
So
Like
stupid.
They're big,
overinflated
fat
horses.
teeth.
Cribbing. Yeah. We were just talking about that because we saw a horse doing something similar. It was one where a goat. We got in a horse video watching thing where a little baby goat was like standing on its hind legs and trying to headbutt the horse. And it's like you're watching the goat because the goat's doing this really cute little thing. Like it backs way up, gets all the way up its hind leg, then step, and goes bonk like that, trying to bonk the horse. But the whole time that the goat's doing this, if you watch the horse instead, the horse is just eating a rope. That's all. That's just what it's doing. It's just sitting there eating
But they
a
like
rope.
to chew on stuff.
Big fucking dumb horse. Yeah, they're just dumb. They're just really.
But I think if you ranked the dumbest animals, a horse wouldn't be anywhere near the top.
I think koala's the top. Koala's a pretty dumb animal. I think
Yeah, well, they're high on.
they're just high all the time, right? They're just stoners, basically.
What
And
is
it-
the
living the
dumbest
life.
animal?
Sloth seems dumb, but they're
Save it
slow.
for podcast 420.
Did you see this video earlier?
What's this?
Oh my god, what is that? Is that a monkey?
It's a dog.
Is it a pug? What is it?
Wait, I actually can't tell what kind of animal that is.
It's a little
It's a
poodle.
dog.
It's a little poodle.
Why is it walking
Why is
like
it
that?
wearing
I don't know.
dress?
The description just says like I was in the hospital to visit my mother, and then I saw this
Oh,
dog
it's a
walking down the
nurse.
hall.
It's very unnerving.
What have they done to that dog?
It's more believable than some of the characters in Rogue One, though.
Do you think that dog thinks it's a person?
Probably.
Probably, yeah. Just
What
walking away. Watch it do
creepy.
rounds. It's like checking people's charts and stuff.
It's oddly not cute.
No, that was weird.
It's super disturbing.
There's that one famous dog online that has no front legs and it can walk on its hind legs. I actually love that dog.
Oh,
Well, that's making
Yeah.
do with what it's got.
Yeah, yeah. It's amazing that things can adjust like that.
it makes me think of one of my favorite videos of all time, Odie the Wonder Dog, or Horny Odie the Wonder Dog. Y'all ever seen
No.
that video?
Something humping.
Yeah,
something?
that's like a dog humping another dog, and then like the dog doing the humping gets detached, and then figures out to use its front paws to finish itself.
Get out
Oh
of
yeah,
here.
you showed me that.
Oh yeah.
I probably have seen that and just don't
You
remember.
probably
it.
played it on the podcast
I'm
before.
sure I played on the podcast probably like fucking 8 years ago.
I'm obsessed with looking at cute animal videos. I can't stop sometimes. I'll get into like a rhythm of doing it. Especially on Instagram now that they track your, I guess, viewing pattern. And when you go to the explore page, they just show you all these like photos and videos of things that they think you'll like
You go on the explore page on
All
a
the
social
time.
media app.
all the time
That's weird.
on Instagram. You discover a lot of new stuff that way. Like the Cats of Instagram account. It's just cute kitten videos all the time.
I missed the boat on Instagram.
Did you?
Yeah, I don't know. It's like
You
I ju-
use it now, don't you?
Oh yeah, I did a real picture.
Yeah.
how many pictures do you have now? 2,
3.
3. Look at you.
2 knees and
I feel like it has to mean something.
It's just like when I take a picture of something that I think like it's a cool picture of an item or whatever, I like, or something I did that day and I don't want to tweet about it.
I just don't know
on
why I wouldn't
Instagram.
put it on Twitter. Is my problem. I guess like I have too much in one platform.
Yeah, I guess it's because like Instagram, that's all you do is post pictures. So you could post a picture of anything and it's more accepted there. You don't
I
have to
just
have
know
a
that-
real purpose for it.
I just know that on Twitter, whenever someone posts an Instagram picture, I never click it. 'Cause
Yes.
It's an extra click.
I'm gonna solely do Instagram pictures now on Twitter for you.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't click it. So what's the point?
Exactly.
I mean,
I don't
don't
think
you do that now?
a social media service should have the ability to share links on it. unless they're going to fully commit to it. Like Instagram, on Twitter, when people post Instagram stuff, it's always cut off. And I'm just like, I can't be bothered. And then when someone posts a YouTube video, I click it and it takes me to YouTube inside of Twitter.
Yeah.
Does
I
it
have a
really app?
YouTube app. I have a YouTube Red account.
And also, none of the features of YouTube work. Like the new end cards,
Right.
they don't work. You just end up with like a blank space at the end of a video.
And
Yeah,
it's
I don't know
just-
why it just doesn't open the app automatically.
Yeah,
They don't want you to leave it.
No, that's it. That's exactly.
They're
They
trying
don't
to
want you to
trap
leave
you
it.
into it. Yeah.
But nothing ever closes on a mobile phone, right? I mean, it's just like,
Yeah.
Yeah, but you don't have to switch back to it. Like when you're done, you close
I get
that
it.
window. Yeah,
I get they lose people. Once you go to YouTube, it's like you're there, you look up, and it's like 12 hours later,
Yeah.
and you're watching a video of a guy building a mud hut.
Did you see that? Remember months ago, I talked about how excited I was for that bus in China that would go over traffic.
I saw your post about
Yeah.
this. I'm sorry for your loss.
They just ditched it.
They just ditched it.
They
sorry
did?
for your loss.
Yeah, it's been in a warehouse for like 4 months. Like, and also now that
It's not just like being held for more testing.
if you try to even like search for it on search engines in China, the results are filtered. Like you can't look it up.
Yeah, and apparently they
Sketchy as
did a
hell.
bunch of shady stuff when they were making it. Like they
Yeah.
illegally crowdfunded it and did the test without telling anyone.
Yeah.
And then the owners, you can't get hold of them.
So
They've just left it.
Did it get shut down by like the government?
I think
or-
whoever was running it just took the money and
But
ran.
they're still employing people to guard it. There's just no one there.
Yeah.
They're just like there's people going every day to guard it from people, and they don't know who they're working for.
Right. Oh, are they getting paid? Like, does it,
I don't know.
Maybe
how does
it's
that happen?
Megatron.
Yeah, there it is. It's just like
That's a good point.
in a warehouse.
It might be.
Might be
I like it.
Decepticon.
This
Yeah.
makes me laugh because that's a bus.
And you can actually see all the way through it.
You can see through it.
under it.
That's a bus that goes over the road in like this U shape. But then they built a bigger version of the bus to cover the bus. It's like it's the same thing, kind of. That just
the bus
doesn't.
holding thing.
What do you
That
mean?
just doesn't move. It's the same concept of like the bus going underneath this structure, and it's like the same exact shape. They should have just like made like a fake bus on top of that.
Like,
should
look, there it
turn-
is. It's hard at work.
They should turn that bus into like a small house or something.
A portable house.
Yeah.
Like a RV.
Yeah.
So here's the
Cool.
question:
Cool.
Yeah, you could just park in the middle of traffic, and it's
Yeah.
okay because everyone's still going
And the
under
hot tub could be a glass bottom, and you could look down at cars
Yeah.
beneath you.
And they could look
And
up
they could
at
see your ass.
vaginas.
China,
you.
China recently stole a drone from us. What did you read that whole thing?
Yeah, yeah.
Whatever the fuck that was.
Yeah.
There was an underwater drone that was being used for research. The Chinese government found it.
The Navy. I believe.
Navy
military,
found it.
Yeah.
Yeah. They, using their established protocols, they took it to find out what it was, found out what it was, and they're returning it back in the normal channels. That's the Chinese approach to that process. Our government, the head of our government on Twitter, going, China stole our drone. They stole our drone. Oh, China's the worst. They're terrible. Then they're
Bullshit.
like, we're returning the drone. And he goes, God, keep it. That was the response.
Yeah.
Was, "Yeah, just keep it. So now I think they owe us one.
China?
Yes.
Okay.
You and I, they got a free drone. You and I should go get the bus. Would you drive that commute to work?
You don't have to pick
Austin?
I
anyone
don't
up?
know if that would.
You don't have to pick anybody up.
Okay, no, it's fine. I would do it.
You
'Cause then
literally
I just,
You're literally just driving over
right, yeah, that's fine.
Do
everybody.
you think Texans will let you drive over them? It's not going to happen. You drive
Oh,
over
man.
some dude, he's going
Also,
to kick off.
there are way too many trucks here for that
Yeah, like
to
the
work.
big lifted trucks.
Yeah,
Yeah.
dude, driving over a dude in a big lifted truck, and you're
Also-
like, it's okay, it's from China.
Also, what if they want to turn right or something?
They just
Fuck
wait
'em.
for me to go over them.
Yeah, he's got the bigger truck.
I hate the fucking drivers here. I hate them all.
You know what Ashley and I do? We try when we get in the car to say, how long before we see somebody make a critical driving mistake?
Yeah.
It happens every time I'm in the car.
I
10
saw
seconds.
someone get really mad the other day. I was turning into a grocery store. And as I was turning in, there was a car in front of me. I was following him into the grocery store. Someone in front of him ran a stop sign. So the guy in front of me had to slam on his brakes and stop. Then he just stopped there in the middle of the intersection, just staring at the other drivers. Like, you are creating a more dangerous
Yes, you
situation
are.
now because now traffic is lining up out into the street
Yeah.
as you sit here and fume
Scold.
and stare someone down. Like, get over it. That person obviously fucked up. Move on.
Yeah.
Do not make this worse.
I was driving through an intersection the other day where I had a green light and I was driving straight, and there was people waiting to turn left on a green light. And I was driving along and I saw this truck start to turn, and I'm like, I hope they see me and they stop.
Yep.
And they kept going, so I had to slam on my horn, and the guy stopped and then started honking at me. And then he flipped me off.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
You almost just
you
killed
almost
us.
just hit me as
Right.
I'm driving straight on a green light.
I
No,
saw-
fuck you.
Oh, I had the same thing.
But fuck me, yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
I was at a red light, and I'm the second car, the guy in front of me. Light turns green. 3, 2, 1, honk. He looks up and he flips me off. It's like, you weren't paying attention. You know that you were
looked up,
doing
the light is green
something
now.
else. You looked up, the light was green, and he flips me off.
Can you imagine if people did that outside
And
of
just
cars?
sat there looking in the mirror and flipped me off like this. It's still not going.
Like, imagine if someone in front of you was waiting to cross the road and they were just on their phone, and then the walk sign came on, and you were like, "Hey," and they went
I know.
and walked. It'd be so absurd. I watched a video this morning.
It wasn't like a solid honk. It was like that bop, that honk.
Yeah, it's like a hey, wake up.
What'd you see?
I watched a video of this POV from a guy on a bike. Car comes out in front of him. A wallet was on the roof, so his wallet falls into the street. The guy on the bike stops and drives up alongside the car, and he's going like, meep, meep, like trying to show the wallet. The guy just thinks he's a dude on a bike beeping him, so he flips him off. And then he's like holding out the wallet, and then like eventually stops. He's like, "Oh, thanks." And then as he gives the wallet back, he realizes that the guy's phone is also on the top of his car. So he just takes the phone and goes and drives off.
Oh, did he really? That's
Good.
fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
Fuck
It's
that
like
guy.
everyone's first response is,
Fuck you.
Anger.
"Where? What?
Yeah.
I'll fight now."
There's also the amount of people. I'm one of those people. If I see someone driving at night with their lights off, I will make it my mission to have them put their lights on.
Yeah.
Like I'll drive up behind them and like flash my lights. And one time there was this guy. It was really dark, and I think it was raining, and he had no lights on his car. And so I went behind him and I was like flashing my brights, and he wasn't paying attention. So I just did a little like beep beep, like honk to like make him aware that I was flashing my lights at him. And he like kept braking so that I would have to brake.
Brake check.
As if like
brake checking.
Yeah, he was brake checking me. And then he would start to change lanes because I think maybe he thought I wanted to pass him. And he would start to change lanes and then veer back in front of me. And I was like, "Are you
Just turn your lights on. Yeah.
just turn your fucking
He's probably
lights on."
drunk. That's what I assume.
Yeah.
I assume half the drivers
Absolutely
at
he was
night
drunk.
here are drunk.
He thought I was just
It's
being an
filth.
asshole driver trying to pass him or something. Where I
Yeah.
was just like, "No, turn your lights on, dude."
It's so weird you bring this up though, because I had like the kind of like an altercation. Now we're telling travel or traffic stories. We went to go buy an ornament, me and the kids, and we went to one of these strip malls. We were going to the craft store to buy some ornaments, and it was the week before Christmas, so the mall parking lot was packed. It was only outdoor strip malls, so couldn't find a space. Circled, doing it. Finally went to the very back row, and there were cars like going to leave the exit, and then I see a space here that I need to turn left to get into. But the car, I need to cross the flow of traffic that's going to the exit, and they're going and stopping. And then this lady in the SUV, she's the last one. She doesn't leave a gap for me. She just pulls right in front of the space. Then the traffic just stops entirely, and she just sits there. But there's no car behind her. And I got the left turn. Cars are starting to stack up behind me. Then the cars that stack up behind me, they stack up so far they're curved around, now blocking the line that she's in. So I just I'm like, hello, because I've been looking for a space forever. I'm like waving. I'm like, can you just back up? Can you just back your car up? Gosh, she literally does this. She looks at me and she goes.
Oh
She
my
crosses her arms in her car.
What a fucking cunt.
It was just like, what? A grown adult, like a 50-year-old woman, she just crosses her arm and stares straight
Why
ahead.
is everyone insane when they drive?
And I was just like,
People become fucking morons.
I got my kids in the car, so I'm just like, all right, go find another spot. So we had to go find another spot because I couldn't drive through her car. Crazy.
No, you can.
Crazy.
Did I tell you
little
about the altercation I had right near here at the Starbucks? It's a couple months ago.
Would you fight a dude?
No, I almost fought a couple.
You're pretty fighty. Like, you don't take shit from anyone in public.
It's something
It's
that
pretty cool, actually.
I don't think a lot of people know that about Barbara. She does not take shit.
I'm too British to actually, like, if people are talking while I'm watching a movie, I'll just sit there annoyed.
I'll get out of my seat.
I think I've talked about this before, but I think Barbara gets that confidence because Barbara, when we go out, she gets a lot more social interaction than the rest of us because we'll go to a bar, especially when she was single, and guys would approach
Thanks,
her.
Bernie.
Guys would approach her. And, well, I'm trying to be nice to Aaron. Yeah, I'm sure you still get approached. Every time I go to the bathroom at a bar, I come back, I got to, like, shoo some dude away from Ashley. It's like, it's almost like I want to, like,
leaving an old banana out in the summer. You know? Flies all over this thing.
go. Beat a guy.
Call me an old banana?
I think he called Meg an old banana. That's what he's referencing.
It's just like they come quick.
They come quick. They wait for you to leave, and then
And
they're
then
like,
later that night, they come quick.
Yeah,
they're chatting up. But it's like, and I've been out with Barbara. We used to go out a lot more than we do now that we're both in relationships. We go out to 6th Street on a fairly regular basis. And Barbara's super nice, very nice. But if the person doesn't get the message, then she's like, I really don't want to talk to you. I'm here with my friends. I'm not here to talk to you. Like, she's very direct, not cruel or anything. But a lot of people I know don't have that ability to do that.
I just don't like wasting time.
That's it. Yeah. So Barbara holds her own in public.
I'm a fan of my time. Anyway, this couple, I was waiting to turn into a spot. You guys know the parking lot that's right by like the Chipotle.
It's a nightmare.
There's never a free space there, especially at lunchtime. And so I was there in the morning going to Starbucks, and there was a spot that was opening up, and I was waiting to turn into it from one end of the aisle, and there was another car, I guess, that had also eyed the spot from coming down an aisle. So we didn't see each other. So when the car pulled out, I pulled in.
Gotcha.
And so there was a car coming down the aisle that
They
started
thought it was their space.
blasting their horn at me, like laying on it. And I got out of the car and I'm like,
What do you want from
I
me?
was also waiting. I didn't say anything, but I was just like, what the fuck do you want? Not even a minute later, this couple comes into Starbucks. They were like right behind me. And the husband was quiet and the woman comes in and she goes, so you didn't see us, huh? You didn't see us waiting for that spot? And I was like, I actually didn't. I was also waiting for that spot. She's just like, okay, sure, whatever the fuck you want to say. And I'm like, lady, I also was waiting for the spot. You're right behind me. You clearly got a spot. We're cool. And she was just like standing behind me, like fuming the whole time, just shaking her head. And her husband was just like,
People like to be mad. People like to be offended. That's
But
the way
that-
the world is.
That I've seen that guy a lot too, where I got yelled at by an old lady for a shopping cart thing in
Yeah.
the like I took too long to put the shopping cart back in the like that area where
How
they're supposed
dare
to
you.
go.
How dare you?
I got my kids in the car and she was waiting for my spot and she got very upset by that and I pulled out and she screamed something in my car. I didn't know what it was. And I just stopped my car and I said, do you have something to say to me? And like her husband just sat there like this. She's like, well, I don't know why it takes you so long to get out of space. I was like, I was with my kids again. So I'm like, have a nice day. Goodbye.
Right.
And I was just thinking, like, that guy's life sucks, dude. Like, I just watched him just sitting there with his fucking face and, like, the
Yeah.
all soul just, like, had
He's
left
like,
his
why
eyes
did we
years
combine our
ago.
bank accounts?
Yeah.
See? That's
It's
why you
just
don't
like,
do it.
and it's just, I mean, you almost want to take the guy aside and go, you know, you don't have to do it. There's other people. Just go,
That's so
Good.
aggressive.
just go do that instead. I didn't do that.
I
but
honestly
it's
feel like that would be a better insult.
Oh, it would
than
absolutely be a
anything.
better insult. Yeah. Just like, go find somebody else.
Yeah.
She's horrible.
I was actually pretty pissed. I was pretty pissed at the husband in this situation because he was actually the one who flipped me off. And I was like, oh, now you're going to walk in here and
Now
let
he's
your
in-
wife yell at me while
He's
you...
not in the car anymore. His protection
His
shield is
protection.
gone.
Yeah, no, well,
Do you
he
think
wasn't
he was
flipping
saying
you
to-
off, he was flipping your car off. You're like different people.
Oh, right.
Do you think
He's
he
mad
was
at the
saying
cop.
to his wife, like, shut up, we're not in the car anymore. We can't do that.
She
Like,
can
not
see
in the
us.
veil of protection.
Like someone will cut you off for parking space, but then they'll hold the door for you.
Yeah.
Okay, while we're on this subject, what is the fucking deal? When you see a car backing up out of a parking space, there's two schools of thought. One is a car is backing up, I had better stop. The other school of thought is, oh my God, that car's backing up. I gotta gun it to get around them as fast as I can.
I get honked at so frequently when I'm backing up.
I don't understand. If someone's backing up in a parking lot, don't you just stop?
Right. Like I don't.
People
I,
just
I,
they're like Indiana Jones
I'm
trying to
not
make the gate.
I'm not slow backing up. I'm pretty fast at it.
Yeah.
But still, like I'll be backing up halfway out. Then someone will be honking at me, swerving around. Like, well, just wait.
Yeah.
Give me like 2 seconds.
If you already see the white lights on the back of my car and I'm already past the other cars I'm parked next to you, that's when you stop.
Yeah.
That's
my-
normal. I don't think we covered that driver's ed, but that's the normal
Just
etiquette
wait.
to stop.
That
right?
is one of my pet peeves. My other pet peeve are people that barrel up or down a parking garage.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Just
dangerous.
like, what do you think other cars aren't rounding the corner?
So dangerous.
Like,
Yeah.
I've almost been hit like 4 times in the last week in a parking garage.
I remember in the old parking garage that your truck was so close
Oh,
to hitting
God.
2
those
inches
things.
below the
And-
clearance level.
And you would haul around corners to the
I
point
did.
where you
To
would
scare
like,
people, I would do that.
it would like
in the car.
sway on the suspension, and sometimes it would bounce up and be like, oh, it would never hit. I never saw
Your
you hit the
antenna
ceiling.
would
No.
always hit.
My antenna would hit it. It'd
Yeah.
go king, king, king. Yeah.
was-
The
it was
production truck
scary.
or the other truck?
Probably
production
both
truck.
at this point. Yeah, I think I switched cars at that. The last car I had before the Tesla was a pickup, and I bought that in 2010.
I think we were at Raw Publinado by then.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Here, let me read this right here.
Hey, why don't you read that right there?
I want to remind everyone
You want
this
another
episode of the Rooster Teeth podcast is brought to you by the OWC Thunderbolt 3 dock, now available for pre-order. It's a fact, today's newest Thunderbolt 3 equipped Maxit PCs feature fewer and limited port options, but with the OWC Thunderbolt 3 dock, users can bring back connectivity for their existing and future devices, including external hard drives, webcams, and audio interfaces, Ultra HD displays, wired networks, and more. The Thunderbolt 3 dock takes full advantage of the Thunderbolt 3 technology with throughput of up to 40 gigabits a second, offers 13 ports of connectivity, all through a single cable connected to the laptop, so you can do away with that confusing mess of adapters and dongles. Visit owcdigital.com to see how you can bring new connectivity to your laptop at the fastest speeds possible. I actually own the Thunderbolt 2 dock that I use with my laptop here. I fucking love that thing.
Yeah.
It's so awesome. You get tons of ports, so much easier to use. If you need a dock, definitely get one of these. I'm a huge fan. I bought specifically from them. I bought it myself.
You can get a free one?
No, this is way before we had a sponsorship with them.
Thank you.
I got it like right when I got this laptop, like 3 years ago. Fantastic, love it.
That's a new sponsor, isn't it?
Yes, brand new. So welcome.
Ooh.
I hope you sell a ton of Thunderbolt docks because they're great.
Welcome to the fam.
It was funny. We were talking earlier, and I was asking when you were late. I was going to have to do the ad reads, and I
Not
said, "Well,
late.
who's our sponsors today?" And this sponsor was a new one,
Mhm.
and I said, "Well, what's the copy?" And they said, "Well, they have a Thunderbolt dock." And I just because I've been working on like productions for 2017 that we're doing at Rooster Teeth, I'm like, somebody made a documentary about Thunderbolt? I was so confused. And I had that revelation. I do it a lot, especially with Gavin, where someone will say something to me, I will completely misunderstand what they said.
Ice cream seller.
And it like ice cream seller. It sounds ridiculous, and then I'm like, "What are you talking about? You're stupid."
Then you're like, ugh.
Yeah, that's exactly that. It's like you're right until you're proven idiot.
Yeah.
I hate that. Like I'm the same way. Like I'll be super confident about something. Like, oh, oops, no, I am totally wrong, and I look like a fucking moron now.
Like the plane taking off without wheels.
Yep. Don't even want to talk about
He
it.
bailed out of that podcast. We know this is technically the end of the year podcast as well.
Oh yeah.
This will be our last podcast of 2016.
It is.
And of the decade.
What? No. What?
Stop it.
In 3 years.
So we're going into another decade. Any plans? 2017? Anything you're looking forward to?
I'm excited to be writing 2016 down for the first month of the year.
Yeah, that'll happen.
That happens every year.
Yeah.
We should really start our years earlier.
Go on.
2017 should always start in November, so that by January you're already used to writing it.
When
down.
the year starts.
I
So by the
mean,
time- so
by
when the-
November, I'm already in the mindset of 2017.
That is maybe the dumbest thing you've ever said.
I think it was
It's
intentionally
not, it's not a
dumb.
real suggestion.
Yeah, yeah, I think that was
like
intentional
everyone
enough.
has that carryover. It's like, oh, damn it.
Like, you
never
should
do
be
that?
allowed to, is what you're
I
saying?
feel like I don't write the date as frequently anymore as I used to. Like when I was younger, I felt like I wrote it all the time. Now I don't fucking write the dates down.
What do you write?
Well, how do you know what year it is?
I wrote a check the other day. It was crazy. I wrote a
You
check.
wrote a check the other day.
Yeah, it felt weird. And
Why?
I put it in an envelope and put a stamp on it. Yep.
What were you paying for?
Taxes.
You could do that online.
What?
Sometimes you can't.
I don't like to do that. No, I don't like to do that. I don't like to do
So
that.
you'd rather have a paper trail.
I like a paper trail for taxes, yeah. I don't mess around with taxes. It infuriated me when
Online
Donald
is a
Trump
more secure
was...
way of. Online is like, here's the figure, bloop, bloop, there it is.
Yeah,
A
but
check could get lost.
I get you.
A check could go anywhere.
I don't know.
But you know, if a check didn't get deposited, if it doesn't get cashed, like you know that
I'm
it's
gonna
still
say,
out there.
I'm gonna admit, Gavin, you're 100% correct. It's a holdover for me. Like I don't mess around with that, so I write a check because that's the system I always used to pay taxes previously. So I just keep doing that. It's like my friends when ATMs got big and they refused to use the ATM to deposit anything, and I would
You turned
use
me
it.
onto that.
And Gus was one of my friends. Like, you're crazy. You deposit at the ATM. It's like it's the same fucking thing.
I know people who won't use the app, where you take a picture of it and it just gets deposited, and then once you get the okay, you just.
I
shred the
just
check.
got that.
I
That
love the
thing's
app.
dope.
And it's like people are like, I don't trust it. It's like,
What do they not trust?
What's
The
the
money's
worst
in
that's
the
gonna happen
account.
though?
And you still have the check if something goes wrong.
If something goes wrong, you have it still.
Yeah, sitting right there.
I don't trust it. That just means. I don't know what that means. I
I've
don't know
gotten
what
my mailbox down to just junk mail at this point
God, yeah.
because I've gotten rid of all my invoices and everything.
I might
legally-
get one legitimate piece of mail every week or two. The rest of it, it's like it just goes. I may as well just put my recycling bin right by my mailbox.
Do you guys also get a lot of flyers and like things
Oh.
from stores?
That's a huge. You didn't have that in Canada?
Not
Gosh.
to that extent.
I never
Oh,
had
no.
that in England.
My
to this
mailbox, I
extent.
can't even take the mail out. It's like just packed with all these flyers.
It's so inefficient. It's like having your inbox as all junk goes to it and dealing with email. And then if you don't see a letter that's important, you're screwed.
It's just such a waste.
You would be infuriated if you ever saw the process by which that happens because you think the mailman or mail person comes up and they say, okay, here's all the mail for Barbara, and that's it, right?
No, I see them. They go,
So they in the little slots.
yeah.
I was out at my mailbox and the mailman came by and he's like finds the mail for Burns, puts it in the box, then turns back to the sorted stack of junk mail for the day,
It's
grabs
separated?
that and then puts that in. I'm like, hey, how much would I have to tip you to never get anything out of that stack? I just can't do that.
If you
cannot
got
do that.
everyone on the street to agree to burn that stack, could he do it?
Why can't they do that?
I don't know.
Because they probably have a contract. They're
That's
probably
right.
paid to
It's
distribute.
No.
still mail. It's bulk mail, but it's still everyone has the right to send everybody else mail. Basically, I don't know if it's a right,
it's just,
but
it's got to be the biggest waste of paper on the
awful.
planet.
Do you legally?
I've never once kept any of those.
Do you have to have a mailbox?
This is an episode of Seinfeld, actually.
Like
That
if
he
I
tried to
took-
turn off his mailbox.
It was cable, wasn't it? Or...
No, he wanted to turn off his mail, and they pulled him into a room and like they questioned him.
Yeah, like
Because Newman was part of it.
If I took my mailbox off and I just put up a sign that said no mail, would they just leave it on the floor? What happens then?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I really don't know.
You should do it.
I'm
You
gonna
should
do
just
it.
weld it shut.
I think you could. I think you
I'll
could stop
probably get
mail service.
arrested.
Just go to the post office. Say stop stopping the mail service.
But companies require mail. Like
What?
You could also have a forwarding address. So if you just want to not
Yeah, but then
your
you
mailbox.
just have a stack of shit somewhere else.
yeah,
added a
it's
middleman.
just like give someone else's address.
Can you keep it in a loop? Like you have this forwarding address goes to another address, and that address forwards back to your initial address.
wonder-
that
You
could
develop,
really
like,
build up.
a tornado of junk.
That could totally clog the mail system.
You bring them down.
So there's the thing: stopping mail delivery service permanently.
Well, I mean,
It's a whole thing.
I guess if you like move to a different country.
Maybe if I actually had a shredder on my doorstep and that was made it look like a mailbox,
They put it in. It's like.
would they still deliver it to that? Like, oh, I'm not gonna do that again.
Or just set a timer where it's like the shredder's under it, and then like 30 minutes after the lid's open, the bottom comes
I
out
would-
and it just dumps
I
all
would
over
want the
shredder.
postman to see,
Uh,
just so he knows what I think about mail.
Then you should have it go into a box that seals itself, and then mail it off somewhere else, so he has to take it.
So the reasons for stopping mail permanently, the reasons that are
Just a
allowed,
package.
are death and relocation with no forwarding address.
What's relocation with no forwarding address?
I guess you're
Like-
homeless.
So if I move to my shed,
Maybe if you, I mean, even if you got deployed overseas, you'd still have an address. You
Yeah.
have an
Still have
APO
one.
box. So
You should just fake your own death.
that's illegal.
You know what else is illegal? Not getting mail.
fake your own death. Let's fake our own deaths and then let's see
Why'd
who has
you
the
say it
better
like
funeral.
that?
Let's do that,
Weirdo.
Gavin. Would you
What'd
want to
you
do
say?
that? Let's fake our own deaths and then we'll see who has the best funeral. Like who says the nicest things. You think people would be nicer to me or nicer to you at a funeral?
Well, you know a lot more people. You probably get a lot of nice.
I don't think I know more people.
I would be
than
like, Gavin was a righteous prick. And that's it. That's all
you. Any
I'm
plans?
saying.
2017? Any plans?
No, I mean, I don't think so.
2016 was a good year or a bad year for everybody? Let's,
Personally good.
yes. What were some
Uh,
of your cool personal things in 2016?
started always open.
Mm-hmm.
Have my own clothing line at the company, which is pretty
Good.
cool.
Huge milestone,
A huge milestone. 5 years at the company.
right? That was just last week, right? Week before?
Yeah, it was the 12th of December.
Mhm.
Yeah, just a bunch of really cool things for like professionally wise, I guess.
It's my busiest year.
It was a busy year for me too.
Busy.
I've traveled further than I ever have. Well, I guess what?
Total.
Yeah. I don't know why I thought that didn't make sense. And just like it seems like this year had the most of many things going on at once. Like finishing one thing
Give me the highlights.
and immediately going to something else.
What are the big
Highlights?
things? Yeah. Let's play live. That was a good one.
What?
I don't see that as a highlight.
Jeez.
What
Really?
did
You
you
don't?
say?
Let's play live.
Oh, why did you say that's a highlight?
What about Laser
I mean,
Team in
that-
theaters?
to me, that's no difference to
It was this year.
RTX or something.
Yeah,
January was Laser Team in theaters.
First movie.
Is that a
That was
highlight?
cool. That was a highlight.
First RTX Sydney.
First RTX Sydney. That was a fun one.
Should I have
cool.
said Let's Play Live was a highlight? We already did
No,
one in
it's-
Austin.
Gus is
ages
just
ago.
gonna cry.
Oh no, that's even better. If you like that one, that's your highlight. Good. That's the one I did.
I mean, that was the first live show we did on the stage.
Yeah.
So
I mean, once you've done it for the
Innovative,
third time,
groundbreaking.
So what were the highlights of the year? I'm suggesting things. You can. Your highlights are your own choices, Gavin. Am I putting you on the spot too much?
Ba, ba, ba,
I actually
ba.
didn't do on the spot this year, so
That's a highlight.
that was a highlight.
You can still do it. There's one more show.
I already said I wouldn't do it.
It's already aired before this, but yeah. Really?
Yeah.
I want to check the timestamp on the email. If he asked you before he asked me,
What
that's
time?
gonna
What time
affect-
did y'all get asked?
That's going to affect my answer.
Okay.
Are you on the list?
I got texted. I couldn't do it.
Here we go, Risinger. We're gonna. This is your
I may
secrets
have
coming
done
out.
one this
I
year.
got texted at 10:28 this morning.
Oh, it's a text, right?
Oh,
It's
I
text.
also got a text, and
Alright,
I
I'll
said
see.
yes, even
At
though I took
10:20?
Thursday off.
10:28.
Yesterday at 2:50.
Damn.
I also got 10:28.
Oh, so you were in
What?
the backup bulk.
Hold on 1 second.
Interesting.
Let me see. John Reisinger. Oh, I got 10:27.
10:27.
What's yours?
Yesterday at 2 p.m.
I
Did
got
you
it
not-
today at 10:27.
Did you not respond, or did you say no?
Oh. No, he asked me for my answer at 10:27 today. I got asked yesterday at 2:53 p.m.
2:53. I was at 2:53. That's my response.
Did you ask me before
Nah.
Gavin? I'm gonna ask him right now.
You're an asshole.
Before
Oh,
me.
I can't do it. So I said nah.
Nah.
So you're on it, Babs?
I said yes.
I'll do it. If Babs on, I'll do it. You want to be on the team?
Yeah.
I think he's already filled out the spots.
Has he?
No, he just asked me 10:27. Oh, I guess it is
5 hours
4
ago?
o'clock. Yeah. So
You should still say yes.
I'll say, I just
See-
said yes, and I'll say, wait,
See who he kicks off.
maybe. Poor John. Booking that show is tough, man, because it's like working with people's availability around here is a nightmare.
Well, during 11 Little Roosters, it was a nightmare.
The guy, Jay Tyler, who had to coordinate a lot of that. And
I
then
can't imagine.
And then Jessica, who works for us. At one point, I went to Jay Tyler and go, you're like in this like Zen bubble, because he was in the office by himself. He was playing like this very light classical music, and he was just like, he was
Get
just
some good
sitting there.
tunes
For
going.
his own sanity.
Yeah, he was just sitting there. I go, you look like you're like, you have a Zen zone going on here. He goes, mm-hmm. I go, has it been like scheduling for 11 Little Roosters? Has it been tough? And he's like, yes. He goes, because he works on movies. And he's like, I'm used to, hey, we're not going to have this actor Thursday and Friday. And we know that 2 months out that they're not going to be available on those specific days. So we schedule around it. And he goes, but now it's like, oh, I have to leave in 30 minutes because I have a phone call, or I'm on a different show, or I'm in my third production this week. And he's like, he just was not, like, it was a lot to deal with. He did a great job.
So what you're
He
saying
did a
is
great job.
he wants to be a talent coordinator.
Yeah.
Everyone has such hectic calendars. I can't imagine how that all happens.
It's also slightly different when you're on a movie set and you actually go there. But because we shoot here, it's like you're waiting around for the next shot, and it's like it might be 90 minutes before you shoot again, and it's like, but my office is.
I could be doing
right
something,
there.
yeah.
I'm gonna go.
Work,
I'm gonna
yeah.
go do work.
yeah.
Otherwise,
I
you're
know-
literally at work, not working, and that is, I hate that.
by the end, the last day that I shot, my call time was 10 a.m. and then at 8 a.m. I got told it was changed to 5 p.m.
Was that the day?
It's like that's such a but it's like it's like it sucks. You're like, oh shit, like
I think I
it
know
got
what day
moved
that
so
was.
far, but then I'm like, on the bright side, now I've got all day in my office. Like I can actually like get
Yeah.
shit done and then go do that.
Yeah, I actually had to do a thing. It might be out already. I'll just be vague just in case it's not. We did a thing with Jeremy where I had to come in and set up a load of cameras rolling for his reaction to something. And Jeremy is always first in Achievement Hunter. Like I think he gets there in at like 9, and everyone will come in maybe an hour later. So I got there at 8:45.
Oh, was that why I saw you here so early that one day?
Yeah,
I was
and
wondering about that. Okay.
he overslept. He got in at like 10:45.
So you did all that for
shit.
It's the one I've literally never seen Jeremy walk in the morning. He's always there before I am.
Oh my god.
The one day I get ahead of him, he's like, I'm there for 2 hours before he shows
Oh
up.
So
my
was
God.
it something that where you had to be in a certain position?
I just had to set up a load of cameras in the room.
Oh, so it's not like you were like waiting in a box or some shit.
No,
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 no.
I just had to film.
like I
his-
would have been.
I had to like roll webcams and
Get footage.
Yeah, Elise told us a really funny story when she was in town for the holiday party about.
You saw me at the holiday party, right?
I did.
Okay.
Yeah, you gave me the mask.
you were there.
What did Elise say? They didn't believe that I was there.
You were there. You were there for a good while.
Yeah.
At
I was
least
there for an hour.
At
How's
least
an hour a good while?
For Gus?
25% of the party.
He left 2 hours before the end of the party.
Correct.
Halfway through the party.
Correct.
Anyways,
He
you were
left before
there.
the speech.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, hurt my feelings.
I was there for your speech.
I've listened to
Thank
talk
you.
for
But I
like
was
20 years.
commenting
It's a great
that
speech.
I didn't know Gus was there. It felt weird because I was the only person from the first generation.
I felt weird when I was walking around because I thought the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you have this like, who are all
Oh,
you
it's
people?
True.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess.
Because Matt was not able to attend. I
Yeah.
don't know where Jeff was.
He was
and
out of town.
Joel wasn't there either.
Wow.
So
I thought I saw Joel at some point.
I didn't see him.
Maybe not. Anyways, Elise was talking about this prank she tried to pull on Adam.
COVID?
Yeah, they apparently got this like wardrobe box at their office that's like perfect Elise size. So she was gonna try to hide in it and scare Adam, but apparently she said James was being like too on board with the whole prank, so she knew something was up. While she was in the box waiting for Adam to come, he texted Adam being like, Elise is trying to prank you, she's in the box. So when Adam
So
got
harsh.
to work, he was like, hey everybody, you guys gotta come see this thing outside. And so Elise was just stuck in the box for like another hour.
really?
And she showed me her text conversation with her and James where she's just like, I hate you. You always do this to me. You ruined my prank.
That's
ruined my
so
brain.
fucking awesome.
It's so sad. It makes me so sad for Elise that she's stuck in a box.
She committed though.
Everyone likes Elise so much that it's a sad story when
I
something
know.
like that happens.
I do like the idea of that happening to her, though.
She's
Her
definitely the
entrance.
nice one of the group.
Her
But then,
entrance to Always Open was amazing.
Yeah. That made me laugh.
We
I
had a
watch
weird
it back every
experience
time.
where we were on the 11 Little Roosters set, because the Funhouse was in it, and
The Funhouse?
the Funhouse, and as was revealed today in a 360 video that we put out. But we were in that location where Barbara was also there for like 11 hours to shoot for 4 minutes, from what I could tell, on the last day.
Oh, yeah.
At one point, Barbara's just racked out, like underneath the wardrobe. She'd pulled the wardrobe over herself.
I slept for 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
Was that a different
God.
day to the fighting?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This was
was
the
the
last
day,
day of filming where we were at a house for something.
Oh.
And they asked me to come back
The
to film something at the house. They were like, come back after we finish lunch, which will be like 2:30. And I was like, sure. I show up at 2:35. I was like, shit, I'm late.
Mm-hmm.
And Jay Tyler was like, we won't need you for a little bit. And I was
Little
like-
bit. When you hear a little bit on a movie
I
set,
assumed it meant like
"Oh,
maybe an hour.
It's gonna be a little bit before we need
Cool.
you. Little
Is it-
bit's like 3-4
There's
hours.
two things
yeah.
I hate. It's gonna be a little bit, and let's do it one more time. It's never one more time.
Or perfect, let's do it again.
yeah,
Perfect. Let's do it again. That's what
Or
you
one more for safety.
You
Yeah.
learn after a while how much, like what movie time is and what real time
I
is.
love being
Yeah.
on movie sets. I couldn't be any happier. I love it.
I think
You
I
love it too.
shot
There was- I do. I like being shooting.
7:30
Yeah.
or something.
But
I was there
the
for
place
5
where we
hours before I
were-
shot.
Was a 2-story house, but the stairwell was not that big, like the
Yeah.
width of it. So I was coming down and Elise was going up, and she was only like 3 steps up. And then I was coming down. I went to go move over, and then she saw I was trying to come down. So she backs up, and she had stuff in her hands. So she backs up down to the bottom of the stairs, and then she does this. She bows her head, and I was as I'm walking down the stairs, and I walk down. I go, "What are you doing?" And she doesn't bring her head up. She just goes, "I don't know." It was like the weirdest reaction that I've ever seen.
fucking funny.
Yeah, she was just I don't know if she was goofing around or what, but I was laughing so hard about it. So like it happened later, and I did the same thing. I was like, "My lady," like lowered my head down.
If ever you finish doing something on a set and then there's a break of any length of time, like a 5-minute break, it's always about an hour.
Yeah,
And we've
Yeah.
learned this. There was when we were doing the Surgeon Simulator immersion, we did the intro, and then Michael and I left that set, went into the old streaming room, and did a Let's Play dressed in our scrubs, and then came back to the immersion set because that was that much time between setups.
yep. It's nice when you can do that.
Yeah, it was cool.
well,
It's
funny-
nice to shoot at work. for
I
that
edited my
reason.
whole last vlog on the set.
Yeah.
Of 11 Little Roosters. Sat there. They're like, "We don't need you." I'm like, "Okay, sit down and do all the stuff."
Well, what was funny about the location we were in, that was also the Airbnb that Funhouse was staying in,
Mm.
which is why like they were all there, even though not all of them were shooting at the same time. But it was just funny because they had like everyone's stuff, and people were like trying to sleep or like use the bathroom or shower, but we're also filming in there. It's just not a big space.
Let me read this here.
No. What if you say no?
Want to remind everyone, this episode of the podcast is also brought to you by MeUndies. Picture a world where putting on a new pair of underwear isn't just fresh, you're stepping into a better day. Think about it. Underwear is the first thing you put on and the last thing you take off. Why would you settle for anything less than the best feeling underwear on the planet? Our friends at MeUndies sent me a few pairs a while back, and now I can't imagine wearing anything else. It really makes each day that much better. For the price of 2 cocktails, MeUndies will deliver your new favorite pair of underwear right to your doorstep. Better day guaranteed. And for a limited time, everyone in our audience gets 20% off their first order, but you have to go to our special URL, which is MeUndies.com/roosterteeth. With the MeUndies Better Day Guarantee, you have nothing to lose, so don't wait any longer. Go to MeUndies.com/roosterteeth right now for 20% off your first order. That's MeUndies.com/roosterteeth. Thank you, MeUndies, for sponsoring this episode of the podcast. I love the product so much, I buy it myself too.
I have so many MeUndies.
MeUndies.
I have many MeUndies.
Yeah.
I have I was trying to get some Christmas ones, but the ones that we had at the office, everyone had already taken already, so I didn't get any Christmas ones.
Mm.
They have ones with like little Christmas lights on them and
Yeah.
snowflakes.
Every month there's like a different one. I got the snowflake one last year, I think.
Nice.
I like that one.
They're so soft.
So yeah, finally that thing's done. It was kind of a pain in the ass.
What was
Love
it?
Little
all the
Roosters?
all the 11 Little Roosters, like just dealing with like the scheduling, like knowing who's here, who's not here. Like you're going back earlier, like we were talking about, like John Reisinger. Like he asked me on that day that the last day I filmed was a Thursday. He asked, could I film? I was like, I don't know. I'm doing 11 Little Roosters tomorrow, and I found out I was like, oh, my call time's at 10. Not gonna be that late. I was like, yeah, I can do it. Then they're like, oh, your call time's now at 5. Like, oh, sorry, now I can't.
Yeah.
It's like having to change other people's plans. Like I feel bad when something like that pops up.
Yeah, for me, I was kind of like, don't plan on me being in anything just to be safe.
Mhm.
I don't know, because I didn't know my schedule at all.
So you all wrapped the season of Always Open? Is that true?
Yeah. Last Tuesday.
How long of a break do you take? Do you know?
If all goes well, I think we start back up like mid-January. It's not long.
That must be nice.
Well, it's not a podcast.
Must be nice. I wish that We had seasons here.
Take a break. Why don't you take a break?
We could take a break every
You-
now and
I
You
then.
almost
mean-
took one today. You were 30 minutes late for the podcast.
It's your show.
bullshit.
It's your show.
That was a break. You had a 15-minute break.
15-minute break.
Well,
Yeah.
apparently,
You came back with all new material.
apparently they were talking shit about it on Off Topic. How we're taking a break.
You were there. I wasn't talking shit.
Well, you said that you guys had been talking about it. I wasn't there when you actually talked about it.
What did we say before you were there?
You were saying that I think it was either Ryan or Michael who were just like,
Let me tell you something. I wasn't saying shit.
I know you weren't.
Okay.
Because you're
Who was talking shit?
a nice boy.
Who was talking shit?
Probably Michael, I'm guessing. Michael likes
mean,
to talk
it's
shit
always
about
a bit
everyone and
of
everything.
a shite talker. A little
But
bit.
see, now you're talking shit about Michael.
Yeah, because he's a fucking shit talker.
Yeah.
I ain't scared of nothing.
Take what you deserve.
I didn't get invited to go to the fucking bungee.
Still with that
play.
thing? That was last week.
That's insulting.
That was my first time on Off Topic.
Insulting.
Was it really?
All you people
My first time.
Do you have any end of the year sort
cutting
of?
me out like that.
All right.
Gus cut me out of a thing that I had this thing that I was gonna do.
I don't even need to ask the question. You're already answering my question.
What am I asking?
I was going to be like last minute bitch of the year. Like get it out of your system.
It's on it.
I don't have a last minute bitch for the year.
What's your bitch with me?
So I was gonna do
Because
this-
I think it's something I want to talk about.
I got booked for this thing, and they said, "Hey, we want you to do this event with this celebrity."
That was my highlight of 2016.
Was it?
That was my highlight of 2016.
So they said, "I want you to do this thing. We want you to do this thing with a celebrity." And I go, "Oh, that'd be great." I said, "I didn't grow up in this guy's era, but it would be really cool. He's a cool dude, and you would know him, And I thought, "Oh yeah, I'd be happy to do it." And he was doing a video game related thing, and so I was like, "Sure." So they asked me to come do it. And then we were trying to work out the day, and then I said, as I typically do, like when I get invited to go on at midnight, I say, "Hey, how about if we make it an all Rooster Teeth night?" And I invite other people to come with me. So I said, "How do you want me to bring anybody? You just want me to be me and this guy?" Can we say who it is?
I don't think so.
Okay. There's a reason why I don't know if we can say or not, because I said, "Can I bring anybody else with me so I can riff off somebody?" And they said, "Sure. Just who do you want to bring?" And I said, "Well, I can just throw out an invite and see who's available." And so I asked a few people. I might have asked you
You did not.
on the email, but I asked Gus and Jeff, and they both said they're interested. I said, "Okay, well, I'm just going to give them your names. I'm not going to make the selection here. You do it." So we were trying to organize when we could do it, and they said, "We'll take all three of you." We're trying to organize when we were going to do it, and there was a 3-week period we could do it. Gus said, "I'm not available here and here." Jeff's not available here and here. And I said, "I'm not available on these 2 days." And they say, "Well, we want to do it on those 2 days." So they cut me out of it. And they put Jeff and
on
Gus
them.
in
It's
it.
because of their production schedule.
Wow.
And that's when they were available.
There was a 2-week period in which they
It
were available.
narrowed it.
But
they
this
narrowed
thing that
it
I took
down.
to Jeff and Gus, they go do it, and it's like I'm cut out of the fucking
They sent
thing.
me a thank you card yesterday.
Did they really?
Yeah.
This
Did
thing
they
already
really?
happened.
Gus and Jeff didn't say a word about it
It's
either.
not out yet, which is
Is
why we can't
your-
talk about it.
Okay.
And our involvement with it is not.
Is some of the reason you like it so much and it's your highlight of the year and you got a thank you card? Is some of that reason because Bernie was cut out of it?
Right.
I got cut out.
Let
FOMO.
me say it doesn't hurt. I'm gonna show it to Bernie.
Oh.
What is it?
Personalized message.
I want to see what it is because I don't know who this is or what it is.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so jealous.
Yeah.
Wow, I would have been pissed if I were you.
Why don't you feel
Also,
more bad about
how
it?
dare you not invite
No.
me?
I totally got cut out. I totally got
the
cut out.
dates that they wanted to do it didn't work for Bernie. I can show you the email chain.
I invited Jeff and Gus to do it. I was doing it. I would invite them along. If I had invited Jeff and Gus, I'd say, "I can't do it these 2 days." They'd go, "Oh, we'll do it one of the other days." But they were just like, "Well, this day works best."
I was
so-
in Korea. Like that was it. I could not.
Because Gus was in
Change that.
Korea, we couldn't do it on earlier days. He says it doesn't work with their production schedule. Didn't work with his Korean vacation.
They were still building the set while we were there.
I believe it.
They were still building it.
Well, they could have built it on an earlier day. If we could. I even forget what I was doing. I don't remember.
Yeah, like what was blocking you from doing it on that day?
I don't know. I got to do a lot of stuff in 2016, so it doesn't really bug me all that much. It just bugs me that Gus and Jeff are just so fucking shady.
I was I assume I could talk about this because it just didn't happen.
Did you just say talk a boot?
talk about
Talk a
it?
boot.
That's
it.
the most Canadian you've ever sounded.
Yeah, I've had to do that for 3 weeks now.
It's
so it's
bleeding
still
back
there.
in.
A
It's
boot
coming
crate.
back. I was supposed to get interviewed by Adam Savage at New York Comic Con,
Oh, that's cool.
and we were waiting to talk to him. He was in like another room of the bar, and then his publicist or whoever he was with was like, "So Adam is really not feeling well, so he's gonna take off." And we're like, me and this other person who was supposed to get interviewed were like, okay, like, is this not happening anymore? They're like, no, I'm sorry. We'll have to find another time to do it. Obviously, we're never going to do it. But I was like, I was that close to meeting Adam Savage.
That would have been cool.
You fucked it up.
I did.
Love Adam Savage.
I saw him. I could have.
Yeah, he saw you. That's why he's like, nope,
Yeah, he's
not
just
happening.
Like, I started vomiting
Canadian.
everywhere.
So,
That was like the biggest
Yeah,
series.
you can
of
see the whole
first
thing.
world
Like
problems.
Gus, they gave us a big window to do
he
it.
looked up the email.
I did. The target shoot date is October 7th.
I was in Korea.
Is that a possibility with Mr. Burns' schedule? The time frame for shooting is approximately 3 to 4 hours. Respectfully, the supervising producer. Gus responds,
There was also a
I'm
long
out of the
chain of
country.
replies, and Bernie never replied.
I'm out of the country October 5th through the 15th. He did say, don't wait for me, though. Go ahead and film without me if you have to. Jeff says, I can't do it on that day because I'll be at Let's Play Live Comic-Con. And then
What's Let's Play Live?
Bernie, Steph, our assistant, wrote, Bernie will be traveling from France on that date, meaning the later date that they suggested. So he can't do the later date. He can do the earlier date because I'll be traveling back from France. And they were just like, oh, well, we'll just do the later date and then beat it. 'Cause that's when I went to France with YouTube. And come on, I mean, it's really fun. I love doing that stuff. I really like going to work on stuff. I like being on movie sets. I got to be on a few this year.
You had a whole bunch of stuff come out recently.
Yeah. We had the I was just in Slash. Got to work with Ally DeBerry and Hannah Marks, who's now in that show with Elijah. So Dirk Gently. Have you seen it yet?
I haven't seen it yet. No.
Yeah, and
So that
Slash
12
was
something.
Yeah, that was a Blumhouse thing. The guys who do they did The Purge and Paranormal Activity.
Okay.
They did like an advent calendar, a horror thing. I did that because I wanted to do horror. Then I can talk about this now, I think, because it's all past. And we had the screening last week. Technically, it's tomorrow, but we had it last week. I got the weirdest phone call this year. We talked about it on a podcast. It's like, I went and did this thing, and it was crazy cool. I think we just saying that, leaving it open, people thought Bernie got a part in Rogue One, which is, that would be, I quit my job, and I'm going to do that. But I got the weirdest phone call.
I mean, Gus would go in your place. So.
Hey, call
I'm
me.
sure you would.
J.J. Abrams, just give me a call.
Shit, I can't believe I opened myself up to that. I should have just gone and did it with the guy. It would have been
don't know
just
why you
me.
didn't. I don't know why
Instead,
you
I'm like, hey, I'll invite some other people and it'll be fun. And
I said they could film without me. You have the record there.
You killed yourself.
I've
with
learned my
kindness.
lesson. Just next time something comes up, I'm just gonna go.
He also never replied and said, I'd like to do it. Like, there was no,
I
like...
will come. You were added to the chain later.
I know, and I
already
was
been
active in
talking
the
to them.
chain. You didn't participate back in it.
There was a different chain
Split
when we were
screen.
setting it up that I agreed to do it.
There we go.
So and then
So fast.
and by the way, I also want to point out after it was clear that they cut me out of it via scheduling, Gus and Jeff stopped replying to the email chain. They were like, "Got what I want."
Yeah, they started a new email chain without you.
They were out of it completely. I think Jeff wrote 2 words in the email chain, by the way. So how dare you say that was my late response?
Late response.
I had been talking to
2
them
words is more than 0
for
words.
3 weeks at that point.
Oh, yeah, you all were such good friends, they cut you.
Nah, it wasn't 3 weeks. But I've been talking with them a while when I opened this opportunity up to your
So
fucking
what are-
ungrateful ass.
What are things about?
Wait, he was still telling his story, though.
What was the same?
Okay.
You received the weirdest phone call?
Oh, I got a phone call. So I got a phone call. This was just after The Amazing Race. I got a phone call, and it was somebody saying, hey, we're filming a movie. It's James Franco and Bryan Cranston movie. And in it, James Franco plays a Silicon Valley billionaire. And he has friends, and we would like you to come play one of his friends. The character's name is Laird. We want you to play one of his friends. And I was like, oh, that sounds cool. I was like, I get to go be on a set with James Franco and potentially Bryan Cranston from Breaking Bad. I was like, fuck yeah, I'll do that. I was already like waiting for them to stop talking so I could say yes, that I'll come out and do that. And they're like, yeah, so it's going to be like, we just want the character to have, on screen to have genuine people from the tech and gaming industry because he has gaming friends and stuff. And, we thought you'd be a good fit for it. So the scene would be you and somebody else who we haven't figured out who it is yet. And then Elon Musk. And I was like, what? You want me to be in a movie playing myself with Elon Musk? So it's like Elon Musk and Bernie Burns together. I was like, if I get to meet Elon Musk, I will do that in a heartbeat.
You get to eat meat.
I get to eat meat. So I said, yes, I agreed to do it. And I went out there. It was a blast. I did, I think, 2.5 days on the set. And it was a lot of fun. And I got to be on set. Bryan Cranston, nicest dude on the planet. Was such a great relief to someone that I look up to. He's just a super nice guy.
Did you
What
see
about
much
James
of
Franco?
him on the set?
What's that?
Did you see much of him on the
Yeah,
set?
I
It was
saw
like
his
a full day and a half. Yeah.
You were just like with him all day?
Yeah. Well, you'll see when you see the movie. It's a party scene. So we're in different parts and everything. For the scene that he's in.
He wasn't like in a trailer?
He's in way more scenes than that. That's when I was there. No, they were all hanging out there. But it was a lot of fun. And Keegan-Michael Key's in it. And then Adam Devine. So it's like all these people. It was a really cool experience. Over
Elon
time, so here's the Elon Musk thing. So as happens, as we've discussed earlier in this podcast, there are issues that come up with production. Those are normal. So I got a call. We were going to shoot on like Thursday, and I got a call on Tuesday. And they said, hey, Bernie, we don't need you on Thursday. We need you on Friday. And I said, oh, well, can Jeff or Gus do it? No. I said, yes. Are you kidding? Of course I can bump a day. No problem. You know, because I also lie on social media and say that I live in LA. It makes getting jobs way easier. Because they don't have to travel me or anything like that. I'll just fly out there for it. So I said, yeah, I'll do it. And so Thursday I'll show up Friday, and then we'll shoot on Friday and Saturday or something like that. I forget what the actual days of the week were, but we bumped a day. Hung up the phone. As soon as I hung up the phone, I'm like, Elon Musk is not going to change his schedule on 2 days' notice. Shit. Sure enough, I was right. They shot Elon Musk's stuff 3 months later or something like that. I don't know. I'm speculating when they shot it. But so I never got to be on set with Elon Musk. But it was still such like, I'm still like a kid. Like I'm on a movie set. To me, I'm just like, I haven't like gotten jaded to that experience. I'm just like, I was having a blast the whole fucking time. It's like, this is fucking crazy.
Yeah, I'd forgotten about that. I didn't put like 2 and 2 together. Like I've been seeing trailers for that movie, and it wasn't until here recently I was like, oh wait, that's the thing Bernie did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's like I could tell that that my appearance in the film had been whittled down over time because I was like contacting them 2 months beforehand saying, do you guys want me to like promote this? The trailer just came out. Do you want me to like talk about it? Like, just wait. Like, just wait a little bit. And then I heard confirmation. The screening's passed, so people have seen it by now. I heard confirmation from they said, hey, you're in the party scene. You made the final cut. You're in the party scene. I was like, yeah, I don't have any lines in the party scene. I'm just a guy hanging out at a party.
Oh, so you don't have any lines.
So I'm a background actor.
Yeah, you haven't seen it yet, but
yeah.
Well, you still got to go and be there though.
Do you get credit?
Yeah, they had me fill out SAG stuff, yeah. But it's credited as myself. So
That's
I appear,
a cool credit.
Like
as himself?
Me and Elon Musk are listed as
Self.
Bernie Burns
ourselves.
and
Yeah.
Elon Musk.
But I also noticed that I wasn't on IMDb. That was my other indication.
I'm looking it up right now.
That was my other indication that I was not making the final cut of the movie. Yeah. Which, what the hell? I mean, it was so much fun anyway.
Maybe you'll be on the DVD.
I would do
Or the
background
VHS.
stuff all day.
Elon Musk
I don't give
is
a
on
shit. I love that. It's fun. Like, I'm so jealous when Joel did the Friends thing. That's really fucking cool. Joel's on
Well,
an
it's
episode
also
of Friends.
Friends. That's awesome.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
You like James
season
Franco.
5.
He's dreamy.
I feel like he's on a lot of drugs,
Aren't we all?
I saw
but
none
not
of
the
that.
fun kind.
Well, not the fun kind? Not like
Yeah.
the Seth Rogen kind?
Yeah.
Not like the Snoop Dogg and the Wiz Khalifa kind.
And Bernie after that.
But I was really grateful for the opportunity. It was great to do that.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I'm jealous of that.
But the best thing I got to do in 2016 was go to the White House. That was fucking crazy.
Pretty cool. I did not believe you.
That I was going to the White House?
I would.
I'm not going back.
Yeah.
I was on the
I was gonna
climate
say,
change.
I would have done pretty much anything to go to the White House.
Yeah.
And I would honestly say if I was invited to the White House after January, I would not go.
I don't think
Yeah.
I would go either.
I won't be invited back. I don't think my climate change for millennials committee is going to be back next year.
I would go to see the
I might
building.
be the
Actually.
first one that gets axed.
Yeah.
What was your highlight, Gus?
I think the thing that he looped me into.
Oh yeah.
I can't talk about it yet. Yeah.
Okay.
Hopefully soon. I'll be able to talk about it.
Yeah, oh man.
Yeah.
What did you change about each other for 2017?
Why'd you look straight at me?
I don't know. I'm comfortable with everyone here. I don't think I'd want to change anything. There's a certain level of familiarity.
There's
Would you want-
there's two things I would change.
About
I would get Gavin to answer emails and just stuff in general and be straight with
I
people.
answer emails. I don't answer all emails.
Answer all emails. And then I would also have us hang out more.
Oh, that's
Well,
sad.
I'll hang out with you whenever.
Okay, good.
We're hanging out right
2017.
now.
This doesn't count.
It's just us. No one
This
else.
doesn't count.
We actually don't. The podcast group, I think, is one of the few groups
We're always kind of scared to though, because
that doesn't.
we milk ourselves.
Go ahead.
What?
Well, like we spend all our podcast stories.
I'm not
But
worried
then-
about that.
But then if we go
I
out,
never
there's
worry about
more
that.
stories.
I don't even worry about like occasionally repeating a story because it's like you just tell conversation. When you have a conversation And it's because the same group of people, sometimes we have the same pathways of what we talk about. But when something comes up and it's relevant, even if I know that I've told the story before, I'll still tell it because we have new listeners.
Yeah.
True.
You know, and it's like and sometimes I will even over-explain of what's going on for the audio podcast, things like that. That's just part of like I recognize the fact that while some people have listened to 430 episodes of the podcast many times, and those people are awesome, there's some people that just started listening at 400.
I mean, I do that with Slow-Mo Guys a lot now, in that I revisit old videos. And I guess some of the long-time listeners will say, oh, running out of ideas, you're just repeating stuff. It's like, my list of ideas is still getting longer than I can film it. I just like to go back to old ones because we can do them better or slower. And it's like, there's also new audience who never saw the originals. There's so many new audience that weren't around.
It's like special edition, remastered.
Yeah.
You're like George Lucas.
Yeah, except it's lower res than it was the first time.
Lower res?
Yeah. Like a lot of the faster stuff is 720p and originally, like the football to the face originally was 1080 and the new one was 720.
Gotcha.
This is where it all went wrong. September 14th, 4:44 p.m. Hey, guys, are either of you a fan of blank? Gus replies, absolutely. I used to watch him all the time as a kid. Jeff replies, yeah, sure. I said, okay, well, he's doing a blank show, and he wants to come on and do a thing. I don't want to spoil it.
So wait, they were on the email from the beginning?
Man,
No,
you're,
that's a
This is me
text.
texting them after I've been talking to them.
you're really vague
Yeah.
with your text messaging.
Well, he's
No, come on, Gus, get with it.
I'm slow.
I said,
I'm drunk.
I said, they want me to do it. Is it cool if I suggest the three of us to do it? And Gus says, sure. Jeff says, yeah. I say, okay, great. All right, they liked, and I come back later, and I say, okay, they like the idea of three people. They'll be scheduling emails soon. I'll give them Steffi's from Achievement Hunter email for Jeff. Is that cool, Gus? Do you want me to contact them directly? Just Gus says directly. Then sadly, there is a 1 month gap in our email, in our text communication between me, Jeff, and Gus, and then it's me replying, "Hey, they just called to tell me how happy they were with the blank shoot," and it was like, and Jeff and Gus are like, "Great, awesome!" I'm like, "Fuckers, fuckers."
That's awesome.
It's shady, but it was your fault
Never be nice.
How is it my fault?
because you passed it on.
I should, because I passed it on, because I tried to make opportunities for other people.
Yeah.
Lesson learned, Gavin.
You also didn't know that would happen.
Lesson learned.
Ew, sorry.
I mean, it's your fault
you were busy
because
coming back from France.
No
It's
good
your
deed
fault because you
goes
offered it and they took the offer.
unpublished.
But it wasn't an offer to replace him, though.
No.
It was an
That is
offer to
correct.
When they
join.
saw steak, they didn't want hamburger anymore.
Oh, don't even.
J.J.
Listen,
Abrams, I'm here.
I
Don't even.
prefer
Gus is just milking
I
this.
prefer hamburgers over steak.
So all I'm saying is I hear Star Wars Episode 8's coming eventually. I've got nothing going on.
Now and they'll be like, "Hey, we want someone from Rooster Teeth in this. I'll do it." And then they'll say, "What about anybody else from the company?" I'll go, "They're all
Dead.
Muppets. They can't. They're not real. They're all CG."
Don't say that. Elise will get too excited.
Oh, I know.
All right, let's wrap this up.
Well, I'm so glad, Gus, that I can contribute to your best memory for 2016.
Yeah.
While I was on a plane coming back from France like this.
Oh, how
Actually, I really have to admit that it would have been cool to do it, but there's people that are bigger fans. That so if I don't think Jeff was like woohoo,
Yeah.
but
I was definitely more excited.
yeah, but I it's kind of things. Sometimes those things come up, and it's like, oh, this would be better for this person. We have a thing coming up in January, the Super Bowl. And it's like everybody's like, send Tyler. I mean, I'd like to go to the Super Bowl, but fucking hey, send Tyler. You know, he's going to the Super Bowl. Look at Barb. She's like, her hair's all poking out and everything.
All right.
You look like you just fell asleep.
Happy New
Thanks for watching,
Year.
everybody. We'll see you guys next year.
2017.
Happy New Year, jerks.
Bye.
Happy Jew beer.
What?
I love you.